Okay, doing another video on the Nissan Quest. We're going to replace both of the belts. So we've got like the main Serpentine belt, and then there's a separate one that just goes to the power steering. So there's a few things you've got to do. Some work up here from the top, but most of it's going to be down at the bottom. It's going to be easiest to remove the wheel. So you can remove the guards, plastic guards inside here. These are already missing on this fan. So here you can see the two belts. We've got this one here on the right, this big belt. You can see how cracked it is. Then we've got a smaller belt right there. It only runs from the power steering pump to the crank pulley here. So you can't change that one until you pull this one off. So we're gonna go ahead and do both of them. First thing we're gonna have to do, like I said, pull the wheel, pull this little plastic guard here, and then we need to loosen the lock nut on this idler pulley. So this is a 14 millimeter. You're not going to take it all the way off, just going to loosen it up. So once that is broken loose, then we can get back up to the top. And once we're on the top, there is an adjusting bolt right down inside there. Yep, there it is. Oh, hold on, let me refocus that. Okay, you can kind of see it right in front of that little hose down in there. It's slightly covered up. And that is going to be a 14 millimeter. So what I found is easiest is a short socket like this. You really don't have to have a swivel. It actually may be a little bit easier if you don't use it, but we're going to use the impact, so that's why I'm using that. So let me go ahead and loosen that lock nut on the idler, then we can turn this bolt up here. Lock nut on the idler pulley is loose. Now we can start turning this right here, and it should loosen the belt. All right, now there should be no tension on that belt at all. There we go, see that? So now that the adjuster has been loosened, there's a little rod that goes down behind the pulley there, and as you bring it up, that's what lets this pulley move up higher so you can get it out of the way. So now we can remove this belt. Go ahead and take a note of how it's routed. We can pull this sucker off and start working on the power steering. On the power steering belt, you're going to need to get back here to the pump. There is a lock nut and an adjusting nut. So you can see up there, that's the lock nut, and this is the adjusting nut. This one is going to be a 12 millimeter on top. It's easiest to use a 12 millimeter ratcheting wrench. You can't fit a socket in there. You don't have to have a ratcheting wrench, but it'll make it easier. And then this bottom one is also a 12. So once you get that loose, you're going to turn this one clockwise, and it should loosen the belt. So I'm going to use the impact again here on the adjusting nut. I've already got the lock nut loose, and you should see the belt loosening. There we go. Now we can remove this belt as well. This is an easy one. It just goes from the pump to the crank. Okay, there we go. Now we'll get the new belt on and just do the opposite. Power steering belt is on and tensioned. Lock nut is tightened. What I like to do is tighten it so I can just about straighten out the belt when I turn it. So that one's a little tight, but it's going to work out. Now we've got this other one on here as well. We've just got to go set our adjuster up on top, set our lock nut. I just went up top, tighten the adjuster. Now I'm just going to lock down the lock nut on the idler pulley, and this job is done. So we've got our same deflection there. I could just about turn it straight from there. So that is pretty much it. Not too difficult of a job. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Thanks for watching.